For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. To breathe, our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Everybody speaks about crime, crime, crime. Everybody speaks about crime, crime, crime.
What do you expect people to speak about, if not what is directly affecting them? Because so many of the relatives are being killed almost on a daily basis in St. Lucia. Their friends, acquaintances, whether it is in Viger in the south of the island, or in Grosile, or in Miku, or in Dennery, or in Marchand. Everybody is speaking about crime, 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 because it is not being attended to. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. And NewsSpin is on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page, as well as TuneIn and Radio Garden and the NewsSpin YouTube channel. Don't forget to like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell. We go up until 2 o'clock this afternoon with your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And Amanda is already going through some of your comments in the chat room, and she will be periodically providing us with some updates. And fighting crime, as is being demonstrated, involves proper leadership. And this is manifesting itself in no other jurisdiction in the Caribbean other than Jamaica. And the Jamaican Prime Minister was sworn in yesterday, Dr. Andrew Holness. You'll be hearing from him. And you'll be hearing a little bit about leadership in terms of tackling the various problems that are affecting our societies and those that are emerging, those that are emanating from outside. And so, St. Lucia has recorded a triple homicide. Everybody's talking about crime, 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 crime. But believe you me, those people are not manufacturing instances of criminal activity of such a heinous nature in St. Lucia. It is not manufactured. It is the reality. And I know that, unfortunately, this current administration does not want people to deal with issues that are affecting them directly, especially if it is of a negative nature and if it boils down again to poor leadership on the part of the government of St. Lucia. And fighting crime, as is being demonstrated over the last few years, particularly when it comes to Jamaica, does not entail only the construction of police stations. It does not entail just giving police officers vehicle after vehicle and motorcycles. It takes a whole lot more than that. It is quite strategic. And I was reading some information emanating out of the NewsSpin WhatsApp group. And it says there, Jamaica's 2025 crime plan to lower murders involves a multi-pronged strategy focused on increased legal penalties, technology-driven policing, intelligence-led operations, and targeted social intervention programs. The effort aims to sustain a downward trend in violent crime and dismantle organized criminal networks. Law enforcement and policing, intelligence-led policing. The Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, is using a data-driven model to identify crime hotspots, track vulnerable individuals, and link different criminal investigations. Targeting gangs and criminal networks. Specific law enforcement teams such as the Area Fugitive Apprehension Team, AFAT, and Quick Response QR teams have been established to arrest violent offenders and disrupt gang operations. The government notes increased success in seizing illegal firearms, with record high numbers reported in 2025. Technological upgrades. Continued investment in technology has been a key component of the GCF's strategy. This includes an online system for tracking firearm applications and electronic ticketing to increase police efficiency. Legislative and judicial measures. Harsher murder sentences. New legislation passed in June of 2025 significantly increased mandatory minimum sentences for murder. For example, the minimum sentence for non-capital murder was raised from 15 to 30 years, and for capital murder from 20 to 50 years before parole eligibility. Increased penalties for child murder. The new laws also add up to 5 years to a sentence when the victim of a non-capital murder is a child. Gang legislation. In 2021, Parliament approved amendments to the Criminal Justice Suppression of Criminal Organizations Act to strengthen efforts against gangs. Social and community intervention. Citizen Security Plan. The government continues to strengthen its Citizen Security Plan, which focuses on community development, safer public spaces, and social investments. This clear hold, build approach works to address the root causes of violence at the community level. Targeted support for at-risk youth. Initiatives like the Community Resilience and Transformation Project provide skills training, educational opportunities, and safe spaces for young people in vulnerable communities. Expanded restorative justice. The plan includes efforts to strengthen mental health services and expand access to restorative justice and other alternative dispute resolution services. public engagement collaboration. A key element of the plan is to foster collaboration between the police and the public. Law enforcement urges citizens to provide information to help with investigations and crime reduction efforts. Extortion awareness. As overall crime rates decline, authorities are focusing on specific issues like extortion and urging business operators and individuals to report such incidents. So you have a coordinated approach. Scientific methods are being employed. It's not just providing the police with vehicles and motorcycles and expecting that there'll be any kind of tangible positive results in fighting crime. We are still fighting crime as if we are in the 1980s. What the government of St. Lucia is doing right now, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia is doing, is what should have been done at least 40 years ago, 4 decades ago. More police officers, so more boots on the ground, and the majority of those police officers, their assignment is to issue traffic tickets. That's primarily. And you can attest to that. You, the motoring public, you pedestrians, you walk around the city and you see what is happening. It's not something that is deliberate in terms of bringing in more police officers into the ranks of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force so that they can fight crime holistically from various approaches. What kind of method is being employed right now by the Royal St. Lucia Police Force to tackle gang-related crime on the island? If it is happening, then I don't think that members of the public are privy to it. Also, if you carried a survey, as a result of all the police officers that have added to the force, the dozens of vehicles provided to the police, you call seeking their intervention. Have things changed positively to reflect the kind of investment that not any government is making, but you, taxpayers, are making in terms of improving the operations of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force? And increasingly, we will continue to make reference to Jamaica, because Jamaica is an example of what used to be in terms of homicide after homicide, and where the authorities were doing things in a haphazard kind of manner and hoping for there to be positive results and positive outcomes. All of a sudden, with the change of the mindset of the hierarchy of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, added with proper leadership that's being provided by Dr. Andrew Holness, tangible results, positive results, to the extent that the number of homicides have been reduced so far in Jamaica by about 45%. And we are at about, close to 60 homicides already so far for this year. And we keep hearing the same thing from our leader, the Prime Minister of this country. He's on record as having provided more vehicles to the police, to the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, than any Prime Minister in the history of St. Lucia. You'll be hearing from him in just a moment. In the meantime, our crime prevention minister is hell-bent on re-election. Domino after domino tournament, domino after domino competition, because it's all about keeping your eyes on the prize. And general elections are less than 1 year away. And the focus and the emphasis for our crime prevention minister, amidst triple homicides and double homicides, is to focus on domino competitions, because he wants to win the Miku North seat in the upcoming general election. And if that's the mindset of our politicians, if that's what passes for leadership in this country, in terms of addressing those critical things that are happening, that are affecting you, the citizenry, what really is on the horizon? Do you think that there'll be a dramatic change in approach? Do you think there'll be any kind of new thinking on the part of our leaders? And we must not take issue when the young people say, boy, those old people, they don't know what they're about. Because we're in an era to fight crime, you need to utilize the technology. And the Prime Minister is boasting of having done so much for the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. He also must tell the St. Lucian public that he made a grave error, an unforced error at that, in deciding to disband the K9 unit. He disbanded it instead of adding to the K9 unit, having 3 K9s, increase it to at least 5 or 6, as is being done in a number of regional territories, including Antigua and Barbuda. He disbanded the K9 unit as the nation's national security minister. And so, 3 bodies found inside a vehicle in Vigier Canals, that's in the south of the island. 2 men and 1 woman believed to have been shot. And we are yet to receive confirmation with regard to the identities of those individuals. What you're seeing there on Facebook and YouTube, a photograph of the location where the bodies were found in the wee hours of today, and the police are conducting their investigations. Now, I wish I was in a position to speak with the island's police commissioner on this latest triple homicide. He's missing in action. I wish the National Security Minister and Prime Minister would call this broadcast and let's have a decent, respectful conversation on crime. Don't expect that. What about the Crime Prevention Minister? Would he call NewsSpin this afternoon? Don't hold your breath, but I'm expecting that he would do that. Because those are our leaders. We elected them to manage the affairs of our country, not to only come and boast about economic growth and economic growth and economic growth for 3 and 4 years. What about growth in the occurrence of serious crime on our island? So I have an individual who is willing to speak. He is on the line, and let's see if we could speak with him. He is a politician, and he wants to be the MP for Vieux-Fort North. He is better known as Kakal, and Calix Kakal Xavier is on the line. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thanks for joining us on this afternoon's NewsSpin program.
Good afternoon, St. Lucia. Good afternoon to the wider world. Good afternoon to the diaspora.
And
Calix Kakal Xavier here.
A former veteran police officer.
Yes, team. Yes, team.
So, what say you to this latest incident, this triple homicide which occurred? Would that be in the Vieux-Fort North constituency?
Yes, it's in the Vieux-Fort North constituency, and I'm very, very much surprised that I didn't hear anything from the MP as yet. Team, I usually take my run on a morning, and whilst going for the phone, I saw that information, then I confirmed, and I went directly to the scene. Team, as I said from the last interview I had on Spider, and I also, that's Rev Up with Spider and Andre Paul, and I also called NewsSpin, and I said these things will continue to happen, team. Team, I did not go to a university, get a degree and come back into the police force and believe that I know it all. Team, I served in the police force with some of the greats. I spent 28 years in the police force, almost 30 years. And I have gained a wealth of knowledge through being in various departments, and most of it is in operations, which is beat and patrol, in charge of several police stations as a sergeant. And team, I will tell you, these guys up there have no clue as to what it is underground. It's like they do not understand, or I don't even believe that some of them even ever patrol or they ever did operations before. And I'm saying that much because as we speak, and I will say it again, in Vieux-Fort, the organizational structure which is supposed to be obtained at the divisional headquarters is in shambles. And I always ask that question. Is it because it is Vieux-Fort? Can you believe between the ranks of inspector and DCP at the Southern Divisional Headquarters, there is nobody there to fill up these positions? And I can tell you one thing. I am sure that these ranks were sent to the north. So we have a missing ASP in action, a superintendent in action, and an ACP. We have 3 ranks missing in action. These are the basic things, Tim. How would you expect the divisional headquarters to function effectively and efficiently when there is a breakdown in just the structure itself? That must impact on the men's morale. They believe that all the promotion is done up north, which it seems like it is true. All the resources are sent up north. And you must understand, with the closure of the airport redevelopment project, we have the St. Jude's Hospital reconstruction project that had less than 100 persons, or if there is 100 persons from the community of Vieux-Fort, both north and south, working there. And we also have in the Vieux-Fort North constituency that a lot of persons are not even taken into consideration, the Galaxy Resort, which does not employ one St. Lucian. So Vieux-Fort North, Vieux-Fort South have been denied of opportunities as it pertains to employment in these very huge projects. So what do you expect? And the government continue making excuses and excuses. Tim, think like a criminal for once. Because as a police officer, you have to think the other way so you could find strategies to catch them in whatever they're doing. The Vigier Road, as we speak, if you drive through the Vigier Road from Canals, after you pass the Canals Bridge and down south, and you take a right, you will believe that that road was never paved before. Mm-hmm. I attempted just 2 weeks ago to pass through that Vigier Road, and I had an SUV, and I had to reverse in the very same direction that I came from. So they know that the police can reach me in no time quick. They know even the fire service cannot get access to that area in no time quick. They cannot get to access to these areas. So I am asking, is that government for the people? Are they for the people? I have heard of gunshots in that area. I went through the community this morning, and I can tell you, the community is traumatized. And because of the poor conditions of the road, you have even further neglect because the buses do not want to go down there to drop persons. There are some young persons in the community, whilst I'm working for the community, telling me that they do not get employment whenever they say they're from the VJ Kako area because they always reach work late. There is only one bus, one known bus heading down to Kako VJ. And the authorities are doing nothing about it. I am saying, Tim, with the vision of the UWP, with the introduction of border control and the expansion of the K9 unit, that could curb crime. And we must have a plan. This is a medium-term plan, but at the end of the day, Tim, we must have short-term plans like stop and search, and also have borders. During the COVID, you saw how we operated. I think we need to return to that. And why is it that up to now, the Prime Minister couldn't put the country in a state of emergency with all that crime that's happening now? Pretty soon, I guess other parts of Beaufort, like they like to do, only the South that they will do that too, will be termed a crime zone again. And we must understand, until it reaches our doorstep, we will not feel the effects of it. Until it reaches our doorstep. I visited the scene, Tim, and I can tell you, the amount of sand that was required to cover up the blood on that road was voluminous. Team, the community is hurting, and there is so much that we can do whilst in opposition. But I'm there with them. I'll be heading to the community this afternoon again to meet a few persons and to speak to them. I think I'm well poised to give them some advice as to how to protect themselves and their families. But up to now, I have not heard from our current rep, and I think he needs to visit VJ. Well, probably he might not visit VJ because he knows that he has neglected there for so long, and his vehicle cannot even go down that road. But thank you very much, Tim. Thank you very much, Tim.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for speaking with us on this afternoon's NewsSpin program. You just heard there from Mr. Calix Kakal Xavier, the United Workers' Party candidate for VA4 North in the upcoming general election. And we are pleading, we are begging for a call from the National Security Minister or even from the Crime Prevention Minister on this particular issue. Very serious crime problem that we are experiencing at this point in time in St. Lucia, in various parts of the island. And just moments ago, the NewsSpin statistician was trying to get the line, so I will call him right now. Let's see if we could establish contact with him. Always a pleasure to hear from this former police officer. So momentarily, we should be in a position to hear from him. I think he's on the line. Good afternoon to you, the NewsSpin statistician. How are you, sir?
Not bad, Tim. How are you?
I am okay. How about you?
Not good, Tim.
Okay. What's on your mind?
Amanda, how are you?
Good afternoon, Cole. I'm fine, thank you.
This last week I heard persons were asking for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been following, and Tim, 2 weeks ago I asked 2 questions of the authorities about the deaths of 2 persons, the tragic death of 2 persons that were never mentioned on the news. That was Mr. Duncan Sylvester of millet, and Nouvelle Jabatis, originally from Canary, who perished in Beaufort. Former police friends of mine, including ex-commissioners and other friends, called me to ask, have they responded? And I said yes. They did not respond directly, but they responded indirectly. At this time, I would like to extend condolences to the families of the 59 homicide victims that we've had in St. Lucia for the year. 59. Team, I know the authorities have said it's 54. Remember, team, on the 16th of August, Saturday, 16th of August, this year, according to the authorities, we had victims number 44 and 45. They perished on Jeremy Street next to the taxi stand and
on Miko Street?
Next to KFC on Saturday, 16th of August this year. They were listed by the authorities as victims number 44 and 45. Then we had a lull team, a lot of 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks. Then on Tuesday last week, team, we had a homicide with Ned on Dauphin Street, at the junction of Dauphin Street and Marie Terrace Street in Grove City. He jumped from 45 to 48. No 46. No 47. So I got my answer. Then a body was discovered at La Clery, Activille. It was listed at number 48. Or 49. We had a double homicide at La Tuning in Beaufort. Listed as homicide number 50 and 51. We have 3. Listed as homicide 42, 52, 53, and 54. Team, we are always 5 homicides short. Because Vernon Labadie was killed in March of this year at Industry Beaufort, in Industry Sozel, was declassified as a homicide because it said he died as a stroke. You can recall that when the 4 persons got chopped.
Yes, I can.
But he suffered a stroke prior to the attack. And then he was chopped and subsequently died of another stroke. What triggered the other stroke? What triggered the other stroke? The authorities are not strong enough to test the skills at the courts. So they just declassified it as a homicide. Then I heard Kakal. Kakal is not just a friend. I was instrumental in getting Kakal into the force, he and his brother Bertram. But that's one of the show. In the authorities are suppressing crime. There's no effort to tackle crime from the roots. In my day, or in my days, my friends and I and our leaders, we would have combed every inch, every ghetto, every slum in this country to root out the perpetrators of crime. That is not happening now. We didn't have the resources that we have now, but we had leaders. We had Gerald Cyril, Emmanuel Francis, and myself, Stephen Chico, Alexander Blanchard, just to name a few. We were known in all the ghettos in St. Lucia, including Kim Louis, who led us. We wouldn't need the authorities to tell us where to go and what to do. We had Sergeant Matthew Christopher, who everybody knew as Charles Bronson.
Yeah.
He would wake up in the morning and say, Timothy left his home and he went to the States and left his house unattended. Let's stay in the bush for about 2 or 3 nights to see what's going to happen. And then, Tim, we would strike gold, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That is not happening. Tim, I was at police headquarters yesterday. I was welcomed by many young officers who wanted to know who I was. I was well greeted. It made me feel good. Tim, have you noticed that none of the persons who used to be on radio touting their successes in the weeks past or in the months past, that none of them are appearing on any kind of news today?
None. What they do is to issue press releases.
But, Tim, we have a communications department of the police force. And we have 3 very good policewomen that I know personally. The Inspector Innocent, Sergeant Ann Joseph, and Miss May. If you can recall, you have been in station long enough, you can remember the names Ann Joseph.
Yes, I can.
And Stacy Joseph from the fire service.
Yes.
Reporting news. Ann Joseph has gone silent. Nothing from her. Every cowboy is coming forward to take credit. Every cowboy is coming forward to tout their successes. Even when the information that is given is false, you're taking credit for it. Team, I don't want to be a traitor to the force that made me, that created me. I am loyal to the Royal Central Police Force. But I cannot sit back idly, and that's what's happening in St. Lucia now, to continue. Team, it hurts. It hurts. Now, there's no one up there in the executive or anywhere in the upper echelons of the police force that they can lead the men or ground forces to attack crime at its base. If I'm getting calls, I knew of this homicide from about 4 a.m. this morning. I've got numerous calls for the day. Persons telling me, we need to help. I'm not praising anybody. Some members of my family don't even want me to go. But Tim, I cannot sit back and let this thing continue. I've lost distant relatives. I've lost close relatives. I've lost in-laws. I've lost friends. And Tim, something has to give. Tim, I am suspecting that is a gag order on the police force. I cannot confirm it. But why we had 4 homicides last week and not one word from the executive of the police force? We had the triple homicide today. Not one word from the executive of the police force. Tim, I'm saying this message out there. I heard people talking about revenge killing, but you know the word is vengeful. Vengeful killing. It will continue. I hate to say this thing. There will be many, many, many more killings that will take place in this country if this thing is allowed to continue. Then I thank you.
Let me ask you this one question. You're saying allowed to continue. But what really can be done to bring this under some level of control? Because I think a lot of people hide behind, this kind of attitude whereby they're portraying a false impression that people want the authorities to end the crime problem. But I think realistic people who are reasonable, they would like the government, they like the authorities, the police, etc., to bring this under some level of control. It would appear now that the criminals are running amok. And based on the trend, and as you said, rightfully so, that it will only continue and maybe even worsen. We cannot exist in a society where it appears acceptable for us to be recording so many triple homicides. I mean, something has to be done to arrest that particular problem. What do you think can be done in the immediacy?
Let me tell you something. To make omelette, you must break egg. And I repeat, to make omelette, you must break egg. The criminals are feeling very comfortable in the zone. We need to shake up that zone. Shake up the system. Now, in doing this, there might be collateral damage. And in collateral damage, I'm not speaking about death. There will be inconveniences for people who are criminally loyal, people who abide by the laws of the country, but people must begin to feel uncomfortable. People are hiding, right, in the ghettos, knowing exactly what's happening. And every policeman is walking in town with a tie in the neck, you know, what the people would call coat and tie. You know, we need to send informers or informants into those ghettos. If the police have to spend money, get some informants from within the camps of these criminals. Send them in. If they are detected, pull them out and give them safety. Give them protection. But we need to get inside the belly of the beast. We need to get into the ghetto. Yesterday I heard somebody say sarcastically about the park in Marshall and bullets are flying here and there at Marshall every night. You heard that?
Yes.
We need to get people in there. We need to get people on the ground, right, at Wapatat, in the graveyard. Bacatel is a hotbed thing. It was only a matter of time before Buford resurfaced. They were just dormant him. They are not giving up. And Buford was deemed an escalated crime zone. Buford had only 11 homicides in 3 weeks in it. 11, but there were a lot of vengeful killings. And what hurt people is the 2-year-old and the grandmother who died on the bed. You recall that?
Yes.
But only 11 homicides. Just check the amount of homicides we've had in Castries, East and Central, over the past 2 months, from July to now. And nobody is mentioning it. Nobody is talking about it. Nobody. Understand? Someone told me that when the guys at Grassroots, the 2 guys at Grassroots get shot, we know who they are, we're not going to call names. When they shot them, that we will see the war of all wars among the gang leaders in Grassroots. War of all gang wars in Grassroots. It has not materialized in it, but it's simmering. It is simmering. It is waiting to explode. Then the police must get in there. Fight crime from behind the desk. The Prime Minister cannot say he's giving them resources and giving them jet skis. They're going to ride the jet skis along the Cassis River to Marshall. These jet skis were donated for Cricket World Cup to protect visitors to this country. The resources that they're getting, we've been getting that all over the years. Vehicles. Police vehicles work 24 hours a day. How long do you expect them to last? There's one term in policing that is extinct. Beat and patrol. We don't have that at all now. There are no policemen on the beat in Castries. Policemen are not visible in Castries. We have about the city constabulary. The city constabulary belongs to the city Castries Constituency Council. The police force must have beat and patrol. They must have beat and patrol. They must have men along the Chaussee Road, men along Marshall Road, Jeremy Street, Brazil Street, Bacafai, Brass Street, Monidon Road. There must be policemen visible. Visible policemen deter crime team. Visible policemen deter crime. That's what it takes. Tackle the problem from its core. Don't stay behind your desk and say that you're doing this and doing that and doing all kind of high-tech. Listen, you have drones, you have everything. Yes, We'll send a drone to Bakatel at night. We'll send a drone there. We'll send a drone to Bakara. We'll send a drone to Grimang, to Shantytown, to Bakade. We'll send drones there. When the things are happening indoors, they come out at night, vampires them. They inside their homes by day, but by night, that's when they come out. That's when they come out. So you must have infiltration of those areas. You must have paid informants, trustful paid informants. Although that's a myth, and you can't trust no informant. But that is what we need to do. We need to do that. Don't rely on the politicians. We need strong policemen, strong police officers with strong will to lead men on the ground where men can follow them. You can just say, let's go. In my days, Lawrence and Kim would knock on my door and say, look, come on, let's go. And I would ask why, where, what, how. I'll just get dressed and move, you know. And for 2 days, I will be back home. You know, that's what we used to do. Fight crime at its core. That's what we need to do. That Beaufort thing is just emerging. It will continue. Beaufort will be reclassified and as an escalated crime zone. Not Castries. We'll be hearing about tourist arrivals. We'll be hearing about how many hotel rooms are occupied. So that will never happen in Castries. It's the poor that suffer. The poor communities will continue to suffer. But Tim, I thank you.
Right. Thank you so much for calling, sir. You just heard from somebody you have designated as the NewsSpin statistician. Thank you so much. Almost 20 minutes of meaningful contribution from him. The broadcast will continue in just a moment. We'll be hearing all about leadership. We'll be hearing from the Prime Minister, National Security Minister, regarding the investment that's being made by the government of St. Lucia in terms of providing resources to the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. And also we'll be paying tribute to a well-known St. Lucian who passed away last month. He was laid to rest just about 2 days ago. This is the most monitored talk show in the world.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of a secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control. All so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Are you ready? Get set. Let's go green with Select. No more paper, no more mess. Easy billing, no stress. Use my account to pay online. Pay your bill at any time. Get the stress off your mind. No more standing in line.
Visit Lucelect.com today and sign up to my account to pay your bill. Request a temporary or new connection or switch an account to your tenant's name. Do it all online.
Personal, paperless. Use the virtual service desk. Are you ready? Get set. Let's go green with Select.
At Flow, loyalty pays back. Big time. That's why we're rewarding our customers with dollars and vouchers. That's like 6 months off your mobile bill back in your pocket. Simply add mobile to your going.
Have you had a stroke or symptoms like numbness, headaches, or back pain? When your body sends a warning, don't wait. MRI is the gold standard for seeing what other imaging can miss, like brain damage, spine issues, and early cancer. At La Clinique de Corps, we are the only center in St. Lucia offering the most advanced MRI technology. Fast, radiation-free, expertly interpreted, and insurance accepted. Call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique du Corps, Center of Excellence, where quality meets expertise.
At First National Bank, we believe being first means putting you first. Your first home? We've got the mortgage. Starting your first business? Count on our commercial loans. Dreaming of your first car? Drive it home today. Heading to college? Let's fund that first big step with a student loan. No matter the milestone, make First National Bank your first choice for all your loan needs. First in service, first in trust, first for you. Call us at 455-7000 or visit your nearest First National Bank branch today so we can help put you first. First National Bank, here for you.
The National Insurance Corporation is now even closer to you. We've opened a brand new branch at the Blue Coral Mall in the heart of Castries. Our new location is more spacious, more convenient, and designed with you in mind, making your visits faster, easier, and more comfortable. Whether you're submitting a claim, checking your contributions, or planning for retirement, we're here to serve you better. With branches on the Castries waterfront, Rodney, Viewport, Soufriere, and now our brand new location at Blue Coral Mall in Castries. Getting service from the NIC has never been more convenient. So, visit us today. NIC, for the benefit of us all.
Let's Bet Sports is turning up the heat this CPL season with a sizzling on-ticket island-wide promotion. Bet just $10 online or in-store and score a letter coupon with every ticket. Collect the letters FLY and you're jetting off to an ultimate cricket experience at the CPL Finals in Guyana. An all-expense paid trip for two, tickets to the finals, and $500 in your pocket. Plus, win match tickets, cricket jerseys, and cash prizes on the road to the finals. It's game time from August 4th to September 14th. Claim your prize at the SNL office in Gablewoods Mall, Castries. Play, win, fly to Guyana with Let's Bet Sports. Powered by the St. Lucia National Lottery. Terms and conditions apply. Your favorite event of the year is back. Project Chocolat presents Souk of Blood, the ultimate all-white experience featuring Ola Tunjay.
In the engine room, we go jam instead.
Umpa.
Press off your one drop.
Back to by TYP. I want to go. To Soufriere, Saturday, October 4th, Souk of Blood. Also featuring Sir Lancelot, Hollywood HP, DJ Shocking, and hosted by MC Donaville. Regular tickets $120, all inclusive VIP $350. Very limited, no door sales. Available at the Cell Island Wide, Mambo's Bar in Soufriere, and 4circlestickets.com. Souk of Blood, Saturday, October 4th, from 7 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. Remember the dress code, all white.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It's unconfirmed, but during the commercial break I got a call. Somebody is informing me, again it is unconfirmed, we hope to hear from the authorities on this, that in the same VJ area, a burnt body has been found by the authorities that's in that same area. It is unconfirmed, and we hope we could get clarification or confirmation before we conclude our broadcast this afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Amanda. Let's find out what is happening in the chat room. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Tim. Good afternoon, NewsSpinners. Tim, a few comments here from earlier. NewsSpinner says, how many are dead now? How many more must die? Philip J. Pierre, how many more? A commentary reads, St. Lucia needs a real makeover. We can't wait anymore. St. Lucia needs a prime minister who is going to make some tough decisions, and for sure that prime minister is Alan Shastney, full stop. A NewsSpinner says RPJP wants people to keep quiet about the killings that's going on nearly every day in this country. Another commentator reads, he's only concerned about what Alan is doing instead of running the country for citizens to feel safe. Someone says here, St. Lucia has me feeling like Alice in Wonderland. I wonder where we found ourselves. Commentary reads, remember PJP said Shasney and his supporters rejoicing over the killings going on in the country. So what is PJP concerned about now? A news spinner says, so why is Jeremiah the Minister of Crime Prevention if it's not the government's job to fight crime? Another commentary reads, Team St. Lucia does not have strong leadership. A commentary says, put the guns down, there's better ways to solve conflicts. Someone says they're putting a bandage on crime prevention will only make things worse in St. Lucia. Heads at the top of government has to be held accountable. A commentary reads, the police always conducting an investigation and nothing is solved. A news spinner says, Tim Rick Wayne keeps on telling you the people are the ones to be blamed. Norbert is giving them what they want and he is certainly going to get the votes. The domino effect type of development. A commentary says, Team PJP is there waiting for another canine dog by the French. He refuses to take responsibility as Prime Minister. A commentary says, St. Lucia starts from cul-de-sac upwards. The South has and is being ignored. A commentary says concerned citizens haven't gotten activated yet. Only when the murders are in the south, that's when your antennas go up. A commentary says St. Lucians, this is getting ridiculous right now. Philip JPI, you need to make some serious decisions even if it has to cost you the elections. People are afraid, forget about the victory and think about St. Lucians at large. A commentary reads, Crime Prevention Minister biggest joke. What policies has he actually put in place to help curb these serious crimes that have been taking place, like education, the public, businesses and community groups on safety measures, and developing and implementing crime prevention programs? Anything? A commentary says we need external security support in St. Lucia. Another commentary says they talking about who can or can't speak Creole, that's their priority. A few commentary on YouTube, it reads, the Prime Minister does not care about crime, it's all about protecting the victory. Another comment via YouTube, it reads, Team keep wishing the Prime Minister does not give a damn about the citizens of St. Lucia, yet some people are still making excuses for his incompetency. And the commentary reads, the Commissioner needs to give up his post because he's failing the police force. I'm not sure if he has been taking Momo tea.
Thank you so much, Amanda. We'll get back to you in just a moment. We also see that there's one countryman who is watching the broadcast via YouTube and is commenting, so we'll go through some of those comments from him in just a moment. But I could confirm right now that, yes, another homicide in Canals, burnt vehicle found with a man in it. Once again, confirming that a burnt body has been found in a burnt vehicle, and that is in the Canals area. Another homicide in Canals, burnt vehicle found with a man in it, and my source says 4 homicides in a day. Let's continue with you, Amanda. Let's again look at some of the comments in the chat room on Facebook as well as YouTube.
Tim, someone says if PJP was interested in having a functioning canine unit, he would just buy dogs instead of buying rejected UWP candidates. Our commentary says, Team, I think the crimes has overpowered this government, too strong for them to bundle. Our commentary says, I will say it over and over, PJP bring back the canine units. Commentary via Facebook, it says, this is a very sad situation. Parents are in tears every day. A caller here says, a commentary reads, sorry, there are not much police officers. There are persons in uniform. A commentary reads, Shazi has nothing to say about crime today. Last administration, he was crying every day. A commentary reads via Facebook, when a government interferes with the police force, that's what happens. Commentary reads, have you noticed the labor hacks are not here today? Their tails are between their legs. Commentary reads, when PJP lied about the problem between Guy and Henry in the church, he is Prime Minister now. What do you expect? Things will never be better with him as Prime Minister. Commentary says that's what you get when you put a square peg in a round hole. A few comments here on Facebook. It reads, some police officers concerned about who has the best and the latest vanity. They do not care about what is going on in the country. Commentary reads, the Prime Minister is behaving like he's a junior minister that's just got into politics and he won his seat and he's confused as to where to start. Then again, let's not forget that a former tourism minister and a district representative for over 20 years. He said that he did not understand the impact that tourism had on St. Lucia. So if he never understood tourism contribution to St. Lucia, I do not think he'll understand anything else. St. Lucia finish. A commentary says, we cannot stop crime, but we can control it somehow. People need to feel safe in the country, and the only way this will happen now is to vote this idiotic government out. That's it from Facebook. A commentary via YouTube, it reads, Up team, but let's talk about the crime and the first world murders happening in St. Lucia. 3 deaths this morning, real crime problems. Another comment, it reads, I will be talking about it. This makes no sense. 3 young people are dead for what? Commentary also from Countryman, it reads, we need witness protection programs independent of government agencies. Comment from that same writer, it reads, we need a special force independent of police. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Let's hear now from the island's Prime Minister, National Security Minister, Mr. Philip J. Pierre, speaking on Sunday during the AGM of the Castries East Constituency Group on the nation's crime problem. And he says, everybody speaks about crime.
Defend that. You know me. I have done more for the police than any Prime Minister. I say it again. For those who cannot hear, I have done more for the police than any Prime Minister in this country. The evidence is there. The Prime Minister who gave the police the most vehicles before me was Kenny Anthony. The Prime Minister who built police stations in this country was Kenny Anthony. And look at me now. I am building a $30 million police headquarters in Grosley. And those who want to deny it, let them deny it. None so blind as those who cannot see. Take a drive and view it. And if you think it's not there, that's your business. It's there. And very soon all of us will go to open the Grosley Police Northern Headquarters in Grosley.
Just heard there from Prime Minister, National Security Minister, Mr. Philip J. Pierre, but people will know better. And you just heard there from the NewsSpin crime statistician. They will tell you that it's not just about the construction of police stations. It is not just about giving police officers more vehicles. It takes more than that. And the Prime Minister has clearly not demonstrated that he is seriously concerned about the nation's crime problem in a sufficient manner that would warrant him speaking at length on it. The Prime Minister has never invested his time in taking to the airwaves, as he does very often during the various political activities that he would be hosting involving the St. Lucia Labour Party, where he'll speak at length on matters relating, for example, to economic growth, he says, that has been recorded consistently since his SLP got into office. The Prime Minister has not also taken the opportunity to address the nation on this increasingly troubling problem that is impacting us and what is on the horizon. Again, as you heard the prediction being made by the NewsSpin statistician, is that the problem will only worsen. It will exacerbate. And the Prime Minister for too long has adopted this hands-off approach in tackling crime. But let's hear briefly from the Jamaican Prime Minister. And he's not mincing words. Based on what he's saying, he's taking responsibility for the safety of Jamaicans. Make Jamaica the safest country in the Caribbean. And he spoke yesterday whilst he was being sworn in after the September 3rd general election.
We will make Jamaica the safest society in the Caribbean. We will make Jamaica the safest society in the Caribbean. We will make Jamaica the safest society in the Caribbean.
We will make Jamaica the safest society in the Caribbean. It is not about boasting about having constructed 3 hotels. Not about talking about hotels that are under renovation. It's not talking about GPH deal, a deal that is very questionable. It is not talking about economic growth over the last 3 or 4 years. It is talking about creating the enabling environment where the people of this country, the citizenry, amidst economic growth, can also feel safe. The people are not safe in St. Lucia. And this is not a mystery. Let us hear again from Dr. Andrew Holness, because he's saying we cannot have economic growth and increase criminal activity all at once. Okay, we need economic growth, we need to spread the wealth, we need to share the wealth, etc. But it cannot coexist with an unstable environment where crime is so out of control.
Economic progress alone will mean little if our society is torn apart by violence. Yes, we have brought homicides down to levels not seen in decades. But too many of our children still grow up in communities where violence is normalized. Too many families are scarred by domestic abuse. Too many young men are recruited into gangs, and too many women live in fear. We must go beyond fighting crime to fighting the culture of violence itself. That means strengthening families, rebuilding respect for authority, restoring civility, and teaching our children discipline and responsibility. It means our education system must not just impart knowledge, but also values. However, it is not only our schools, our churches, the business community, or the security forces. Indeed, this requires a partnership of the whole society to prevent violence and move Jamaica towards true and sustained peace. My administration will mobilize this effort, and I believe the challenge of social violence should be taken out of the political space and treated as a matter of national interest. This is also imperative, and I will be reaching out to the leader of the opposition to work out how we can, as a country, unite against violence. Economic progress alone will mean little if our society is torn apart by violence. Yes, we have brought homicides down to levels not seen in decades. But too many of our children still grow up in communities where violence is normalized. Too many families are scarred by domestic abuse. Too many young men are recruited into gangs, and too many women live in fear. We must go beyond fighting crime to fighting the culture of violence itself. That means strengthening families, rebuilding respect for authority, restoring civility, and teaching our children discipline and responsibility. It means our education system must not just impart knowledge, but also values. However, it is not only our schools, our churches, the business community, or the security forces. Indeed, this requires a partnership of the whole society to prevent violence and move Jamaica towards true and sustained peace. My administration will mobilize this effort, and I believe the challenge of social violence should be taken out of the political space and treated as a matter of national interest. This is also imperative, and I will be reaching out to the leader of the opposition to work out how we can, as a country, unite against violence.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness of Jamaica. He'll be reaching out to the opposition. We expect to hear that from Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre in St. Lucia. And also you realize that the leader of the opposition was at that swearing-in ceremony yesterday. Looks very strange, because that kind of thing does not happen in St. Lucia. Let us hear now from the head of state of Jamaica, the Governor General of Jamaica, Sir Patrick Allen. Spoke yesterday at the swearing-in ceremony and focused a little bit on leadership.
Leadership, however, is never merely a title. It is both a privilege and a solemn responsibility. You are once again called to lead with clarity, conviction, and compassion, to ensure that the fruits of progress that we've shared, that no Jamaican is left behind at any time. You carry the hopes of a people who desire a society that is safer, a society that is more inclusive, more prosperous, and more just. In a world of shifting global realities, economic pressures, and social change, the task ahead is great, but so too is the opportunity to shape a Jamaica that rises above its challenges.
Need I say more? The Governor General of Jamaica, Sir Patrick Allen. Leadership is never merely a title. It is both a privilege and a solemn responsibility. Leadership is never merely a title. It is both a privilege and a solemn responsibility. That is according to the Governor General of Jamaica, Sir Patrick Allen. Let me try to go through some of your comments via WhatsApp. Somebody says there, good day, Tim. To the people of V4, please give Shas a chance. This man has the people at heart. Please, I am begging. Person continues, there are two United Workers' Party in St. Lucia, one which is Labour, and I have to laugh out loud. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message to go through. Somebody says that, Tim, I think the Prime Minister needs to listen to the clip and understand what he was saying, for nothing he's saying is helping solve crime in St. Lucia. I think the PM needs to step down, give someone else a chance at the helm of the country. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says that it's heartbreaking to see Our Lady Helen, better known as Lucia, suffering. She has been in labor pains for 4 years. No good doctor can ease her pain. Poor woman, you will be in peace someday. Just wait for the right doctors. Somebody says there, can vehicles solve the crime, or can a building solve crimes? Shame on you, Philip J. Pierre. That's according to some of your WhatsApp messages. Somebody also says there via WhatsApp, Tim, if a man can go in a church flashing a gun, and that same man, okay, don't want to read this one. Let's see there. Okay, let's see. I think I should read it, because Tim, if a man can go in a church flashing a gun, and that same man was made a government minister, what do you expect? But we don't know the man was flashing a gun. We don't know that the man had a firearm in his possession. What we know, and according to what we've heard from the individual who later became the Speaker of the House, is that the police called upon him to take possession of the gentleman's firearm. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message, and somebody says there, this Prime Minister needs periodic educational classroom and service sessions in order to remind him of his role as National Security Minister and leader in the protection of the St. Lucian people. He swore to protect. Shameful. And I think we have some more of your messages to go through. Let's see there. Please bear with me. We're getting so many of your messages. Somebody says the PJP cell praise and no recommendation. Politics in the Helen of the West is a joke. When I listen to prime ministers all over the world, much less the Caribbean, and I listen to St. Lucia's prime minister, I feel ashamed to call myself St. Lucian. It's a circus on the top floor of the Graham Louise building. We need a serious prime minister, not a joker like we have here. When will St. Lucians wake up? And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, yes, the Prime Minister has done the most for the police, but has done nothing to curb crime. And what has been done on behalf of Officer Tyson. And yet another WhatsApp message. Tim, would you agree that the majority of these deaths are related to some illicit activity? Why is it that we have so many gangsters in St. Lucia? I would suggest it is because their quality of employment in St. Lucia is unable to provide for the needs of the population. Hence, people turn to crime to augment their incomes. If we want to get crime under control, it means we have to start creating correct track employment, not just jobs. It's not about reacting to crime, but preventing it by giving people alternatives to crime. We need long-term strategies, not just policing. Everyone in St. Lucia is hustling, whether they are lawyers or teachers. Everyone has to have a second line of income. If they don't have honest talents, then it has to be crime. Let's see if we have a call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you are on the air. Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon, Tim, and good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon, Tim. Good afternoon, Amanda.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, Tim, my point is, like, from day one, I don't think the Prime Minister really care about crime. Because from day one, his statement was, I'm not the police. You know, my father was, right? But you choose to be the head of national security, where that means he's the bigger police. But my thing is, you know, and like you said, if he said he do this and he do that, but if you give the vehicles, you give whatever equipment, but if the police force, if you don't see that the police force is structured properly to be effective, you cannot get the outcome. You cannot get the outcome you need. You know what I mean? It's all about effectiveness and putting the proper structure in place. But you already say you're not a police officer. So you the head of the police department, you national security. And you don't see to it that it is effective. You leave it on to them. So what you expect? I don't think this man thinking properly, man. Like, is he really the prime minister, or is he just there for show business? Like, he come there and show, and you know, like he do on his political platform, his excitement, but the running of the country, do he really have it at heart, or is just a show business? Man, that man should go into movies, man. I think he'll do better out in movies, you know, like he on his political platform and the energy and, you know, excitement. Yeah, man. That is my take, Timothy.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Calling from the diaspora. Some more of your calls. Once again, this is NewsSpin 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message to go through. Somebody says that, Tim, I live in the U.S., the state where I live, because of its geographic location of 3 of the cities, it's called a triangle. Although we cannot compare the technology in America with that of St. Lucia, the city I live in, the population is 182,659 people with 0 murders. City number 2 population, 364,870, murder rate 9. City population 3, 489,000, murder rate 8. This is what is on record as we speak. It is a shame that the Prime Minister is only concerned about protecting the victory and winning the next election instead of the safety of the nation. Shaking my head. Philip J. Pierre sounds like Donald Trump. He's believing his own lies. I don't know if you have any comments in the chat room, Amanda, to go through.
Quite a few, Sim. A news spinner says, people, we should not be laughing under this program. We need to get serious about this crime that is creeping in on the poor and the vulnerable people in this country, while the government and elites continue to enrich themselves and play a blind eye to this country. A commentary reads, PJP, our country is bleeding. When will you put measures in place to at least reduce the crime happening in the country? Please do something, I am begging you. A news spinner says, a few days ago there was some incident that happened in Grand Riviere with a chopping and holding a police hostage. I haven't heard or read any of this matter because there was a voice note in circulation. A commentary reads, a strong and bold leadership government is needed in St. Lucia. Someone says here, on a serious note, listening to what PJP just said, only the North is considered St. Lucia. What happens to us in the South? Are we the poorest of the poor? And why should we in VA4 South vote Danny and SLP back into power? VA4 South and St. Lucians, watch your bread. Do not let it burn over and over again. Commentary reads, building more police stations, but how many of the murders over the years have been solved? A news spinner says, there is no way you can work without the leader of the opposition. It's important to work together to make St. Lucia better. A commentary reads, that's how grown men govern, not this childish, incompetent and vindictive prime minister we have here in St. Lucia. A commentary reads, this is what you call a leader. He acknowledges that crime is a problem and is not in denial. A few comments here on YouTube, it reads, the issue of crime in St. Lucia stems from the moral fabric of the country. Too much corruption in all sectors in the country. Corruption is our culture no matter which party is in power. Another commentary via YouTube, it reads, PJP needs to either step up as a prime minister or step down to let somebody else do the job. A commentary reads, these are the kind of leadership we need in this country. And the commentary still via YouTube, it reads, yes, a true leader is always willing to work together to solve the daily problems of a country. Is really a true leader. Way to go, Jamaica. PJP, take notes. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. And still to come, some of your calls and your WhatsApp messages. And we'll be paying tribute to a St. Lucian, well-known St. Lucian who passed away recently, and he was laid to rest this week. This is the most monitored talk show in the world.
Essie, don't tell me that tire flat again. I just changed that tire.
Wait, what? You just changed that tire?
Well, I bought a used one because you didn't give me enough money.
Oh, I see. Well, you know what? Chivi's Tire Shop only carry brand new quality tires at affordable prices with free installation.
Hey, it seems you're working at Chivi's Tire Shop. How you know all that?
Come on, Brenda. The tire shop down the road from our home in the American Drywall Building.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Well, you know what, Patrick? Let's go there right now.
Shop located at the American Drywall Building, Vic Butay. Call or WhatsApp 584-5986. Chivi's Tire Shop. Pay less, drive more.
Let's do something very important. Let's go over our hurricane prep list. We need food, water, medicine, important documents. What else? Right, the generator. This year, I'm not taking any chances. I'm getting ours from Europa Hardware in Massad Grocery. Best prices around. And believe me, I don't want to hear, Daddy, the Wi-Fi's down when the power's out. Keep your family comfortable. Get your generator at Europa Hardware. Call us today at 452-0763. Europa Hardware, located in Massad Grocery. We service what we sell.
Lucelec customers are advised that from Wednesday, September 17th until Saturday, September 27th, the final stage of the company's island-wide meter replacement campaign will be undertaken at no additional cost to customers. This is part of Lucelec's ongoing commitment to providing a safe, reliable, and efficient service. The new meters will ensure continued accuracy in customer usage readings and ensure that services continue to meet the highest standards. Customers with meters scheduled for replacement will receive a Lucelec notice at least 48 hours before. On the day of the replacement, a uniformed Lucelec technician with proper identification will undertake the work, which is generally estimated to take less than 30 minutes. To ensure a smooth process, customers are encouraged to ensure that there is a clear and all questions or queries concerning this meter change should be addressed to the Lucelec customer service team at 457-4440 or the metering section at 457-4607. Lucelec thanks their valued customers for their cooperation, understanding, and support throughout this process.
Tired of sky-high bills and a planet on the brink? It's time to go green without burning your pockets. At First National Bank, we are here to make saving the planet affordable. Whether you're installing solar panels, purchasing a water tank, upgrading to an inverter AC, or buying a hybrid vehicle, we've got the green to help you go green. Fast approval, low interest rates, and Mother Nature approved. Your future self will thank you. Visit firstnationalbankonline.com or call 455-7000 for more information to help you turn your green dreams into clean realities. First National Bank, here for you.
It's in the feeling and how we talk. It's in the meaning and our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. Cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong. No matter what, we keep things flowing. Before we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky. Celebrating. Come let your rhythm flow.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control. All so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
Have you had symptoms like numbness, headaches, or back pain? When your body sends a warning, don't wait. MRI is the gold standard for seeing what other imaging can miss. We are the only center in St. Lucia offering the most advanced MRI technology. Fast, radiation-free, expertly interpreted, and insurance accepted. Call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique du Corps, Center of Excellence, where quality meets expertise.
Yes. That was the Lucia Top 5 for Carnival 2025. Yes. Welcome back to Real Men Take Charge, guys. Real Men Check Up.
To all my listeners out there, visit a men's health clinic in your area today.
PSA checkups are now free.
It's private, it's quick, it's efficient, and convenient.
Music touches the soul, but health keeps the rhythm going. Fellas, it's time to check your PSA levels. It's free, it's simple, it can save your life.
Brothers, do you not know that your bodies are the temples of the Holy Spirit? Let us be wise stewards of our lives. Prostate test saves lives. Let us not wait until it is too late.
To be a champion, you need to show up for yourself. I'm encouraging every man to take the step. Get checked. Stay strong. Do it for the team. Do it for your family.
My daddy is a hero, and I want him around for a very long time. Daddy, if you care about me, please take care of your health.
I faced colon and prostate cancer head on, and I'm still standing. Early detection saved my life. If I can do it, so can you. Don't wait. Get tested. It's free, it's simple, and it will definitely save your life also.
Real men.
Real men.
Real men take charge.
Real men check up.
The National Insurance Corporation is now even closer to you. We've opened a brand new branch at the Blue Coral Mall in the heart of Castries. Our new location is more spacious, more convenient, and designed with you in mind, making your visits faster, easier, and more comfortable. Whether you're submitting a claim, checking your contributions, or planning for retirement, we're here to serve you better. With branches on the Castries waterfront, Rodney Bay, Viewport, Soufriere, and now our brand new location at Blue Coral Mall in Castries. Getting service from the NIC has never been more convenient. So, visit us today, NIC, for the benefit of us all.
Need branded apparel that looks sharp and shows up on time? Welcome to Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts. We specialize in custom embroidery and t-shirt printing for businesses, teams, events, you name it. From embroidered logos on polished Oxford shirts, available in a variety of colors for men and women, to bold, high-quality printed tees that turn heads, we do it all. Bring your own shirts or choose from ours. Small runs, big orders, rush jobs, no problem. At Imprinted Designs, we're built for speed, efficiency, and clean professional results delivered on time, every time. So if you want your brand to stand out, not wait around, come down to Imprinted Designs at the Valmore Plaza or hit us up at 451-2920 or email address imselu@gmail.com. Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts.
Thank you so much for staying with the most monitored talk show in the world. We just received some footage of the body being retrieved. Once again, that fourth burnt body that was found in a vehicle that is in the canals, in the VJ Canals area earlier today, where police are currently conducting investigations. And so we just received that video, and we thought that we would share it with you. It's very gruesome just watching some men there retrieving the body, charcoal body, reportedly or allegedly burnt in a vehicle, and that is again in the Canals VJ area, that is in the constituency of VA4 North. So the island recording some 4 homicides during the course of today. 3 vehicles, 3 individuals were earlier, 3 individuals, 2 men and 1 woman. They were found in a vehicle in that same area, and now another body located in the same area, the same community, and that makes it 4 homicides recorded for today. Amanda, let's find out what's happening in the chat room.
Tim, a few comments here. It reads, NewsSpin says, Tim, I would take anything the Speaker of the House says with a pound of salt. A commentary reads, PJP, if you boast about providing vehicles, you should boast about disbanding the K9 units also. A NewsSpinner says, can you imagine having all the power and yet being so weak? Be careful what you claim to be most readied. Another commentary reads, PJP, please take a page from the Prime Minister of Jamaica, extending an invitation to the leader of the opposition and a promise to work with him. That's a leader, not the puppets we have in St. Lucia. Someone says here, I'm not ashamed to say that I'm from St. Lucia. I'm ashamed to say who's the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. A commentary reads, agree, there is nothing good to boast about, only killings, hatred from politicians, no good examples. A NewsSpinner says he has done the most for the police, but we have the worst crime situation ever in St. Lucia. He said he has provided the most for health, but yet we have the worst healthcare situation under his reign. What does this tell you? Another commentary reads, OKEU opening of St. Jude Hospital, new police stations, halls of justice will not solve our problems until we curb criminality. A commentary reads, what Prime Minister would disband a 40,000 K9 unit per month for being too expensive, then turn around and give $250,000 to a private citizen for reasons that we do not know? Someone says they're doing more for the police has to reflect on how much more that the police is doing with the more that the government has done for them, because the government is not giving the police more so they can get performance at La Rose. Commentary reads, you people taking this thing that is happening in this country as a joke. It's time to get serious, not because it's on your doorstep to joke about it. Not because it's not on your doorstep to joke about it. A few comments here on YouTube. It reads, I'm so proud of some of my people being observant and doing their research. You cannot fool the people all the time. Another comment via YouTube, it reads, yes, but some of them want someone who has 3 to 5 years of experience. We have students who leave university and cannot get jobs here because they're not allowed the opportunity to show their potential. A comment here via YouTube, it reads, unfortunately, the crime situation facing St. Lucia and St. Lucians will only worsen unless we give another party a chance. We can't keep making excuses for the government. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Let's look at now the question of the day, the NewsSpin question of the day. It reads, if the SLP government wants praise for economic growth, how about crime growth? If the St. Lucia Labour Party government wants praise for economic growth, how about crime growth? The NewsSpin question of the day. Still to come, we have the NewsSpin news of the day. But for now, former President of the Caribbean Development Bank, Dr. Gene Holder, pays tribute to a former Vice President of the Caribbean Development Bank, Mr. Mario St. Rose, who passed away on the 12th of August. And he was laid to rest on Monday of this week at a funeral service that would have been preceded by a funeral service at the Minor Basilica. Here is Dr. Jean Leon paying tribute to the late Marius St. Rose.
I rise with gratitude and a tenderness of spirit to honor our brother and friend, my mentor and former boss, dedicated service. Though our hearts ache, we trust in the promise of comfort that our Lord provides. If you knew Marius in public, you knew the gentleman who was meticulous and gracious. If you are blessed to know him in private, you knew the quiet might behind the humility, the backroom counselor whose careful words moved mountains, whose gentle questions reshaped positions, whose loyal friendship steadied people and institutions alike. He was the man who never chased the spotlight, yet somehow lit the path for the rest of us to find our way. So who exactly was Marius St. Rose? So let me begin with the man the public may not have known. Marius's story began in modesty and resolve. Born in St. John's, Antigua, Marius was affectionately known as Must to his 5 siblings. He entered the world at just 3 pounds, often joking that he once fitted snugly in a shoebox. As a boy, Marius demonstrated quiet courage and loyalty. He deliberately spilled ink on his secondary school exam rather than leave home and his beloved adopted mother. That decisive loyalty foreshadowed his lifelong devotion to family and principle. By age 13, he had completed primary school and was already teaching young children. In fact, he wore short pants into the classroom as a teenage teacher, and he hustled through life's early uncertainties with the determination of someone who refused to be defined by circumstance. He did not follow the straight-line path to pedigree. He built an inner citadel of learning, studying by correspondence, earning his credentials, and later pursuing economics at the University of the West Indies. The heights that great men reached and kept, wrote Longfellow, were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards in the night. That was Marius, disciplined in the shadows, excellent in the light. And he loved the everyday ways that matter. Kieran's treasured memories of shared walks to the Lacroix school when the bus didn't come, of weekends cooking on wood at Makoni, of making do in Jamaica on one paycheck and a prayer, of choosing a simple patty and milk for lunch, of being sustained on chicken gizzards, legs and necks and ground provisions, so the future could be paid for in dignity. They reveal a man chiseled from young who value grace over show, substance over display. There was mischief and laughter too. The rum punch experiments, the picnic beach day with friends, the joy of steady companionship across 56 years of marriage. This was the home where love endured and learned endurance. A good name is more desirable than great riches. Proverbs 22:1. And Marius cherished that truth, living it into being every ordinary day.
Former president of the Caribbean Development Bank, St. Lucian Dr. Jean Leah, paying tribute to the late Marius St. Rose, who passed away on the 12th of August and who was laid to rest earlier this week. Mr. Marius St. Rose was a former managing director of the Bank of St. Lucia and also a vice president of the Caribbean Development Bank. The NewsSpin news of the day. It reads, a young Nepalese says, quote, politicians get rich while we suffer, so I helped bring down our government in 48 hours. The NewsSpin news of the day. A young Nepalese says, quote, politicians get rich while we suffer, so I helped bring down our government in 48 hours. The NewsSpin news of the day. Regarding the nation's worsening crime problem and recording some 4 homicides within a day, one would hope that the Prime Minister and National Security Minister of St. Lucia, Mr. Philip J. Pierre, would really demonstrate that he's concerned and he cares about the welfare of the people of St. Lucia. It certainly would speak volumes if the Prime Minister does not address the nation between now and Sunday of this week. Let's wait and see what he will give priority to, whether it's any effort to protect the victory, or he will ensure that he takes a handle, takes control of this worsening crime problem in this country. And one way definitely he can demonstrate that he cares about the people of St. Lucia and putting them first would be delivering an address to the nation between today